Da-da. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Whistling in the Dark podcast. It's Sunday night. It's a bit later tonight. I'm just going to be kind of doing them as and when we can. So tonight we've got the amazing Dubinski on. I think that's how you say it. We'll find out in a second. I heard their new single like a few days ago, and they've got some new stuff on the go. I've known them from when they were Dead Rabbit, seen them on the circuit many years ago. So looking forward to getting into it with them. Before we do that, just thank you for everyone. I got loads of new subscribers when I started the podcast up again. So thank you to the new people who've subscribed. And thanks for the folk that are checking it out later on YouTube instead of Facebook, because I hate Facebook. If you are just on Facebook, come over to YouTube. It's higher quality, and you can see all the old videos are there, the whole back catalogue and everything as well. So you can get lost in some old chats if you fancy it. I don't have much else to announce other than I'm just going to keep doing these about one or two a week, see how we go. I've got a couple of people lined up for next week that I'm quite excited about. But without any further ado, let's do this. Let's talk to the boys. We've got Eugene and Fergus from Dubinski.
Hello,
I don't know where my
hello.
music.
Hi.
Hello there. I don't know where my music's gone, but there we go.
Hey.
Hello. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you very much for coming on a Sunday night. So, and you've had a busy weekend at gigs and stuff. So, thank you for coming on and giving me some of your time.
No worries.
No
it's all
worries.
good.
Cheers for having us.
So I always sort of struggle where to start with these things, but let's just go sort of near the beginning. But I've known you guys since, I don't know, probably as soon as I started doing gigs in Edinburgh, which would be like 10, 12 years ago. You were doing circuit with Dead Rabbit. How long have you been together before that, and what led to the change into Dubinski, and is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, that is how you pronounce it. Aye.
Good.
So we've been playing. Obviously, we're all brothers, so we were playing from quite a young age. Just jamming around together, pretty much, and playing the odd gig and that. We used to do covers when we were really young. We used to
Oh,
play
sweet.
like I don't know, White Stripes and Queens of the Stone Age and Led Zeppelin covers and stuff like that, and Rage Against the Machine. And
Yes.
so we used to gig about when we were kids playing covers gigs, and then obviously moved on to writing originals with Dead Rabbit. Um, and gigged about a fair bit around Edinburgh and got about a bit with Dead Rabbit, and then the name Dubinski came because it was our mum's maiden name, so that was her second name.
Beautiful.
So we decided to like a tribute to her, like change the name to Dubinski and push on with that. So we are where we are now with a debut album coming up. So
Yeah, when's it out? In the 11th of the 11th, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
11th of November. So what was it like, sort of being in a band as brothers? You probably get asked that a lot. Like how many years is between yous and stuff?
There's like 2 or 3 years between us each. I think it's pretty good being in a band with brothers. You can just like tell the other exactly what you think without holding back, and
True.
also if you have arguments, like they're never like that serious. You always make up after a while.
And I guess you get that with
You can't.
when you've got a good musicians around you. I know when I've had like certain bandmates that you just gel with and you sort of almost mind read with when you're writing stuff, or they'll change the drum beat just in the right time. And do you find that was happening more often because you were brothers and you're just sort of more in each other's minds?
Yeah, I think,
I think
so.
so.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to write with you lot, with being brothers, and easier to perform. And I think because we've performed a lot together, we kind of have like I don't know, like a tightness about us, I guess, that that's come from just playing together for so many years. But it's great being in a band with brothers. Like
I say I've always wanted to do something with my brother. He plays guitar. In fact, he sort of taught me the guitar when I was younger. And I fancy doing it. Maybe if we get our shit together, when I come back to Scotland, I could do a gig with my brother and see how it goes.
you should do.
Good old Gary. Yeah, you got me thinking there. So, like with Dead Rabbit, I felt like the influences were a lot like there's a lot of indie in there, like pop and like popular culture. Really, really cool riffs, really catchy riffs, and the singing melodies like just get totally jammed in your head. And I remember that for seeing yous live, like just sort of earworms of songs that I would just keep playing in my head. And then honestly, sort of like everyone dropped off the radar because of COVID, all that nonsense as well. And folk have gone away and sort of buried away and started creating different sounds and trying different things. Was the name change and stuff's partly to do with like your I feel like the new tracks are a bit raw. Have got like maybe more like a Black Keys type like underbelly to them. They're like they've got some, I don't know, just a bit more fierce, I think.
Yeah, I feel like we have developed as a band, and like with our songwriting and our sound. It is a bit more kind of rock influenced, I guess. The newer album and the newer stuff, and it's a bit different to what we were doing as Dead Rabbit. So that kind of, I guess, did play into the name change as well, because it was like a bit of a different direction and kind of like a fresh start with the newer stuff we were doing and the
Yeah.
new recordings we were making.
That kind of came about when we started working with our current producers as well, isn't it? With Mike and Robbie down at Rack Studios in London. Kind of like the way we work with them developed our sound like into what it is at the moment.
The sound on the track is like it's really well polished. Although I say it's raw and fierce, like it's highly produced and sounds fantastic. Like so Mike and Robert, have you been working with those producers a while, or are these new guys you're working with?
For a while now. They're the guys that we've done the album with. So that's we kind of just started off with doing a couple of tracks with them, and then they were like, "Oh, let's just do an album." So
Sweet.
we've been working with them for a while now, and it's all set and ready to go.
How many tracks are you doing?
It's a 14-track album, I think.
Oh wow, that's quite a lot. Did you find
All
over
about
COVID?
2.5 minutes long.
Yeah, get them all on the radio, no problem. Did you write a lot of it over COVID and stuff? Were you all cooped up together writing and stuff? Did you manage to all be in the same building at all?
Yeah,
I
we
don't know
did
who.
write a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
I
we
direct
wrote.
the question at either of you, whoever wants to take it.
Is that right?
Long Ferg.
Yeah, throughout the lockdown, we were writing a lot, and as soon as we were able to see each other again, it was just straight into the rehearsal rooms, like getting down these new ideas and stuff. And then I think 2 or 3 of the tracks on the album were like a result of that, weren't they, Age?
Yeah, because I remember coming out of lockdowns and knowing we had to go back into the studio. We practiced a lot of just kind of demoing the new ideas we had and working them out to how we thought they would go and how we would record them. And so we had a lot of demos that we pitched to the producers, and it's surprising, I guess. Some of them we thought were like sure things for the album didn't end up being on it, and it's a good way of working, I guess, because obviously the producers have an input as well, and we kind of discuss about what we all want to do track wise. So there was a lot of ideas that were new, and we got demos, and we used some of them on the album. And there was a couple of old tracks as well that we'd been playing for quite a while that we'd always wanted to record, kind of thing. That managed to make the album. So there's a couple of kind of ones we've been playing around with, but mostly new stuff.
It's quite satisfying when you've got those old tracks, and you can bring them in to the fold of a new album. Have you managed to like polish them up so they sound like, maybe if they're older tracks alongside the newer tracks, they still sound like they're part of one product?
Yeah, I think because we'd never recorded those tracks or brought them into the studio, so it's good just to have a bank of tunes that you know and love, and you can and then like if it sticks out to a producer or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, we need this on the album," and it's like, "Yeah, totally, let's do it then."
Mm. That's what's your like? I'm interested about your writing process. Do you have has there been like a surefire way that you've always gone about writing your tunes, or is it changed up? Just like someone come in with a melody one day, someone comes in with some lyrics the other. How do they usually sort of form?
Yeah, it's a bit like that. Just like we'll at the practice, we'll try like each other's songs and record like a rough demo, and then if they're good, we'll kind of like play them again, and they'll develop in the practices, and it's always kind of the way we've done it.
And what about the lyrics? Do they get written sort of in
Yeah.
the rehearsal room, or have you got books and pads hidden away like myself, and you sort of refer to them?
We all kind of yeah. I think it kind of depends on the way this tune's been written as well. Like sometimes either of us will have like a near finished tune, like lyrically and melodically, and the chords down, and then you bring that to practice. And other times we'll kind of jam a groove in practice, and something will come up, and then you kind of have to work a melody and lyrics to that kind of thing. So then you write into that groove kind of thing,
Yeah.
rather than it being a finished idea already.
Sometimes lyrics are even written like hours before you do a take in the studio as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Sometimes it'll just be ad-libbing until it comes to it, and they're like, "Oh, we need lyrics." So I think one track we wrote the lyrics in the studio, kind of thing.
Yeah. Those can often be the best tracks, so I've had experience of that. It's just like wing it, go for it, and then you hear it back, you're like, "Wow, okay, that's actually stuck in my head now. That's nice."
Yeah.
What about the lyrics? Fall right in the grave. Honest, it's one of the. Every now and again, there's a track just totally grabs me. I feel like we should be just about to go into summer because to me it feels like that start of the summer track that I would probably listen to all summer and just get me on to pump me up for going out or like if I'm going out to a gig or something.
Mm.
It's got a like I don't know, does something to me. And where did the lyrics come from for that? Like the Harbour Hearth, all right in the grave. It's like I don't know. It's paints
Yeah,
all this cool imagery in my head.
that was mainly Donny's lyric writing. I think we collabed on the second verse in the studio, but Donny's the bass player Donald
Mhm.
was behind writing that. I think he was. I don't want to say for him, but I think he was reading. I can't remember the name of the poet now,
Blake, was
but
it?
he took inspiration from this old. Yeah, and yeah, I can't really
Yeah, no,
speak for
fair enough.
Donny, but
Yeah,
he was the.
that's cool. If I do see him, I'll ask him. I know is does he work at the Academy of Music and Sound, or is or does he is he
No, no,
currently
he doesn't.
studying there?
He used to go there.
Yeah, I'd seen him.
No,
I was there for a
he's
bit,
not.
and I floating about.
He used to go there quite a few years ago now.
Mm.
But he actually lives down in the borders now, actually near Gala. He's in Stow, so
Ah, Style lads, cool. Oh, so you oh yeah, because yous have done Stowed Out, and yous are proper been uh, through the ringer with the Borders gigs. Stowed Out's great fun, isn't it?
It's
yeah,
great. Like,
yeah, it's a good laugh.
You also, oh yeah, because
It's
we
good.
were
It's a
chatting
class
just
little festival for such a small village.
yeah, it's amazing. My friend lives just next to the field, so we always go and like have beers in his garden and sit and listen to the bands and walk in. Uh, and it's just nice to see the Borders with some decent bands on and some good music. We were on about just before we came on live. The guys had a gig last night at the Mac Arts in Gala. And you were saying it went really well last night. Yeah, it was a good gig.
yeah, it was really good. It's such a cool
Yeah, it was
venue,
decent. It's a really
Macarts, as
nice
well.
venue, and
It's the beautiful stained
they treat
glass
you
that's
well.
above
And
you. Sorry, I'm cutting you off. My apologies.
exactly, that's all good. I think I've got a lag, but no, the stage is really good and it sounds really good, and the on-stage sound is really good, and it's just the people are great as well. So it's an all-round class
Yeah,
venue.
all
Um,
hail Kate and Chris for what they do there because
Yeah.
they're like Delboy and Rodney, like trying to get that place up and running and working. And Chris is always in there with a screwdriver and uh, cutting stuff up and does it all
yeah,
himself with very little help. They've got volunteers as well, but they batten down the
mm,
hatches somehow
yeah.
and make it happen.
I'd encourage any touring band to go along there and get a gig there because it's well worth it. Like,
Yeah.
Where do you guys consider yourself based now? Is it easy? Are is the rest of you in the Borders, or are you spread about?
Well, the rest of us are still in Edinburgh,
Yeah.
so we're just still Edinburgh based, really. But
And yous were where were you before? Sorry, was it Stockton? I seen.
Stockton in the northeast. That was a really good gig as well. It was sold out. It was
Really?
good.
Wow. Have you got a big? So do you find like you've got a big fan base that you've gathered over the years? Folk are coming back. They've let as the name change stopped it, like caused you any trouble or anything in that matter? Like you find people are still
I
finding
think
you
a lot
okay?
of old, yeah, you still get like a lot of old faces coming along at the gigs, even when you go down south. Like in the northeast, there was some folk that we came across in Newcastle a few times that came along to see us, and I think people that follow us have followed the whole name change thing and jumped on board with it. But obviously, it is kind of, I don't know, it's a big change. So it's a bit of what am I trying to say? A bit of a bit of a jump with the new name. So you obviously people are going to be like,
What's
what
going
happened to
on?
Dead Rabbit kind of thing, and you will maybe have lost a few. Yeah, but
Well, I think it's
you
a
know,
brave thing to do.
picking up
Like I
new fans all the time as well. So
see bands do it every now and again, and they'll do a rebrand, and I've seen it work really well. And then other times it's like, why did you do that? Like, it wasn't necessary. But I feel with like that the new changes have got, and because everyone's had a bit of a gap and a break, and like we're not the same people we were, and certainly probably not the same bandmates. Things will change. So I think it's good sometimes just to reframe everything and give folk a chance to, because
Totally.
you know, to find you as something else. And I know some people find you just as Dubinsky, and they'll never know of Dead Rabbit unless they sort of go down the internet rabbit hole, no pun intended, and find all your other stuff. Uh, Sorry, can you hear me? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mic just went down. Okay, I'm just getting an error here. That's fine as long as you can hear me. That's fine. Should we have a little listen to a couple of your tracks? I've got some loaded up here. I'm going to save "Fall Right in the Grave" for the end, so we'll do your first single. Do you want to give it a wee? What is it? It's "Beyond Me." It's called, isn't it? There it is. Is this this is on the album? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Make sure.
yeah, I guess it's one of the more kind of indie pop kind of tracks off the album. Kind of a bit more what we used to do, you know. But yeah, it was one of our recent singles. Quite an upbeat tempo song.
Does the same guy or team do your videos for you? I think they're all really good videos.
Yeah, we've done the last two videos, Fall Right in the Grave and Beyond Me, we did with a guy called Martin Pickering. He's based down in Cambridge, is it Age? And
Yeah,
we
he's
went down
down
there.
Cambridge way.
Went down there to work with him in the summer and just like really love how everything turned out.
Yeah, just super
Yeah,
vibrant, colorful, memorable.
he's a really professional director, like the way he works. And
Oops. Sorry. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. I'm having loads of wee technical things today. Never mind. Say la vie.
Oh,
Right,
good.
we'll play the
that's all
video
right.
now.
I think I've got quite a lag.
Yeah, me too. I'm getting some weird stuff going on, but hey, it's working enough. We'll be fine. Right, I'll play this video now. We'll catch you in a sec.
Keep this one between you and me, if you don't mind. I can't decide if it's life or a dream. happens every night. You told me you'd be leaving if I can't sort my head out. This time, you say I won't be happy unless I sort my head out. I said this time, really enough for you this time, honey. You feeling rough, cause you got no money. Spend every day in a different body. It's playing on your mind. He's the type that is never wrong, knows just what to say, living life to a pretty song. He heard yesterday, you told me you'd be leaving if I can't sort my head out. This time, you say I won't be happy unless I sort my head out. I said this time, I said this time, real enough for you this time, honey. You're feeling rough, cause you got no money. Spend every day in a different body. It's playing on your mind. Staying up when you shouldn't be sleeping. Or living up, it'll take some beating. And what to say when the tree starts weeping. It's playing on your mind. It's bringing me down, bringing me down, bringing me down. It's bringing you down, bringing you down, bringing you down. I said this time, real enough for you this time, honey. You're feeling rough, cause you got no money. Spend every day in a different body. It's playing on your mind. Staying up when you should be sleeping. Or living up, it'll take some beating. And what to say when your tree starts weeping. It's playing on your mind. Real enough for you this time, honey. You're feeling rough, cause you got no money. Spend every day in a different body. It's playing on your mind. Staying up when you should be sleeping. Or living up, it'll take some beating. And what to say when the tree starts weeping. It's playing on your mind.
There we go. Nice one. You's lucked out with the weather in that video.
We did, like.
Totally. It was
That's some-
it was middle of a heat wave that hot summer we had. Like, I mean, especially down south, the water was nice and warm.
Was that all filmed down near Cambridge as well then?
Yeah.
It was really
That's stuck.
cool. Like everything was really like sun bleached and stuff. All the fields were like just straw. It's really strange.
Yeah, it made it look like we're in the States or something, eh?
You could think that. I was like, when I first seen it, I had to double tape. I was like, oh, no, I think that is the UK.
It was pretty
Yeah, it
good
was-
jumping in the river at the end of it.
Yeah. It was-
like, were those instruments? I take it those were like collateral damage.
Yeah, we kind
Aye.
of just spent a wee bit of money on some really cheap instruments for the sake of the video. And
It seems I've seen so many videos where bands end up doing that, where they end up in the sea or the lake or the pond or the river with their instruments, and it's like a what's the word? What's the thing? The phrase has gone from my head. A rite of passage for bands.
Eugene once tried to film one in like the middle of January or something, where he got in the
Right.
sea, like in near North Berwick, wasn't it?
It was like
This is-
springtime, but there was like a student director. He needed a band to do like a music video for. He didn't have that clear an idea, I don't think, of what was going to happen, but he did have the clear enough idea that he wanted it to start with me getting out of the sea. So they were like, right, get in the sea, full clothes, like all your clothes, and it was like springtime, and it was freezing, like, and
You got really ill, didn't you? after
Oh
that.
my god.
It was that Yellow Craig speech, I think, and I had to walk out the sea and be miming, and then we didn't get it all on the first day, so like we had to do another day of filming, and like the other day of filming was just like shooting shots around Leith and stuff.
You had to be
But
wet.
I had to be wet as well, so I had to
What?
just like throw loads of water on myself on the street and be like, "What the hell's going on here?" Like, and the video
It's the
never even got
continuity.
used. Yeah,
The
exactly.
soaking guy.
I can just see his vision. It's like it won't work if he's not got wet clothes in the city. Folk won't believe the video. It won't
I
make
know.
any sense.
And then I swore to them like after that, I was like, I'm never getting in any body of water for a music video ever again. But then I
There you
ended
go.
up doing it again. It was warm though. It was warm water down south.
Yeah, it's really warm.
That got me thinking. Actually, where have you played? Have you played overseas or anything? Or you played over in the States or in Europe?
Yeah, we've toured around Spain and Portugal a couple of times.
Amazing.
Like we took the van and we basically gigged down England on the way down, and then got a ferry from Portsmouth to Santander in the north of Spain, and then just took the van down to Madrid and Lisbon and back up through Porto. Like did a loop, and then got the ferry back. And it was awesome. Like it was a great experience. So we'll be going back there again, and we go across to Ireland a fair few times as well. We've played about a fair few gigs across in Ireland.
When you were in Europe, did you like plan ahead to get in touch with different venues and try and link them up that way, or were you sort of appearing places and being like, "Hey, can I get a gig?" Or did you have a plan ahead of time?
We had we were working with this guy that kind of a tour booker based in Portugal. He saw us a couple of times at gigs in London. I think when he was living in London briefly, he saw us playing and was really keen to get us over. So he really helped us to plan the tour kind of thing. He got in touch with the venues and sorted out all the gigs, which kind of
Not an
helped make
easy
it
job
happen.
at all. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing, rabbit? Sorry, I've actually got a rabbit here.
Okay.
Do you want to see her?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
for it.
She's thumping her foot because I'm ignoring her. Say hello.
Oh.
Oh my! Did you see that? I'm sorry, darling.
What's
Yes,
your rabbit called?
She's very needy. Starbuck.
Oh, nice.
I brought her all the way
Yeah.
over from Scotland to Holland because you do these things for your animals for some reason. But she's loving it now. She's actually a Dutch lop rabbit, so I've technically taken her home to her
Oh,
people.
nice.
Hey, Rabo. But yeah, she
Okay.
can be a bit loud.
I've got a little kitten hunting me at the moment.
Oh, amazing! A little boy or girl kitten.
A little girl.
And the name?
She's called Tilda.
Nice.
I see her down by the door there.
Oh, amazing! Oh, she's amazing. Just chilling, just watching you. My brother has like one of those big hairy pillow cats, which is like a Mancoon sort of cross, like, and you just pick him up and he's gigantic, fluff ball, and put him on you, and he just like flops over. Like he's not a cat, but he's a cat, but more like a pillow. What's that? Yeah, can I ask then? Actually, talking to rabbits, what was the idea behind Dead Rabbit's name and stuff? If you don't mind me asking.
I guess our mum gave us the name when we were really young. I think because there was that gangs in New York. There's a Irish settler gang in New York back in the 1800s, and because our dad's Irish, and we've got kind of Irish connections. They were called the Dead Rabbits, and we I think there was a couple of bands called the Dead Rabbits already, so we just took the A out,
Mhm.
spelled it's DED.
Like Led
Yeah,
Zeppelin.
yeah. But that
Easily
was the
done.
thinking behind that.
That's I'm glad I asked that. It's super interesting. I'll need to. Are the Dead Rabbits mentioned in the movie, The Gangs of New York?
Yeah, they're like the main gang, like
Are they? Oh, yeah.
DiCaprio's gang.
Bloody hell, that's cool. That's super cool. I need to go back and rewatch that. It was one of those movies that, when it came out, everyone's like, "Oh, it's way too long." But now everyone like binges like 12 hours of Game of Thrones in one day or
Yeah,
whatever.
totally.
So I've maybe got an appetite for it now. I've been watching the new Game of Thrones thing,
Me too.
but since I got here, Vitska, my partner, she was basically not seen anything. So I've got this big list of stuff to go through. But I started with. Have you ever watched Battlestar Galactica? It's like an old
Yeah,
sci-fi
a long time
series
ago.
from like 2003, and I think it's probably one of my favorite things. But we're currently going through that, and one of the characters in it is called Starbuck, hence the rabbit's name.
Oh,
wherever she's
nice.
gone. So we're going through it. Have you been watching anything recently on the new Game of Thrones?
Finished that Jeffrey Dahmer series recently.
Oh, was it dark? Like I've heard it's dark as obviously subject
Yeah, it's
matter.
really dark. Like,
It's mental. Like I've just started watching it. It's wild. I've been watching Frozen Planet too. I'm big into watching
Mm.
nature documentaries and that. So I've been
The,
into that now.
the new Attenborough one is on Netflix, is it? I
It
need to
is,
watch
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's class. It's amazing.
it's well good.
The cinematography on these things is just utterly nuts, and it's one of those things that you're like, oh, they've already done the polar bears, or they've already done this, and then it's like, no, they didn't have these cameras the last time they did it. You want to see like they create like the shark footage that they got with those slow motion cameras, just incredible.
Yeah, yeah. It's mad what they can film. Like it's.
It really is.
But then they do like the behind the scenes thing, and you see they have to like literally camp out for like weeks.
Knee deep in sea and penguin shit and stuff.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
fucking hell, dedicated.
Getting attacked by like sea lions in the night, or just destroying their tent things. Yeah, I've always said that. Like, I think everyone says it when they watch these things. Like, wouldn't that be the best job in the world? Like, you get paid to go off and do these things, and it isn't until you see those behind the scenes things that maybe a few people are like, actually, you can do it. I'll just watch.
Yeah, totally.
What do you feel is like going to happen for you guys in the next wee while? You've got the album coming out, so are you gonna do a tour off the back of that? Are you gonna go to Europe again? What's your plans?
Yeah, we're gonna do a tour around the time of the album release. We're announcing tomorrow that we're supporting American band called Everclear from pretty big in the 90s.
Yeah, I recognise the name.
Supporting them in 3 of their UK tour dates in Glasgow, Newcastle, and Oxford, I think it is. Ah, fuck! Sorry, the cat's just got a hold of my foot. Jesus.
That's it. Like Well, that's amazing. Congratulations. That's a really big deal. So, what venues will you be playing?
I think Newcastle is a place called the Clooney. Oxford is O22, and Glasgow is what's the Glasgow venue? Like
Classic Grand.
Ah, nice one. That's a really nice venue. It's like you have to go down into it. Feels like, you know when they're like partying at the beginning of the Matrix, before he goes into the Matrix, and he's in that. Or no, he's in the Matrix at that point, technically, isn't he? And he goes to the club and like, and as everyone's in leather and stuff. Obviously, hopefully you won't have that clientele. I don't think they come with the venue, thankfully. As there many moons ago. That'll
We're
be fun. And so,
looking forward to it.
are you going to do that as part of your tour, or are you going to do other dates at Lincoln?
Yeah,
Either
we'll do
side?
other dates as well. We'll be up and down the country, no doubt.
Yeah, we'll be pushing on with a lot of gigging over the next little while. After the release of the album, we'll be doing an album tour.
We want to try to get over to Germany as well, don't we? Because we've had quite a bit of love there, and with these past couple of releases.
You just get that information now, because like off Spotify and all your band's camp stuff, you can get an idea where people are actually living that are listening to you now. Is that what you're basing that off?
Yeah, and we've got on a few playlists and stuff that are German based, and it seems to be going well over in Germany for us. So we're just going to get over and gig over there, similar to the way we did it in Portugal, I guess. Just go for it, take the van,
and impress the Germans. Like, they love. I don't know. I feel like any sort of British music that makes it over, even if it's 10 or 15 years old, is still thoroughly enjoyed by the Germans. Rabbit, stop it. The animals tonight are going a bit crazy. Stop it. You did. Aye. If she doesn't got any food, she just pushes it off. The thing. Right then. So, well, what we'll do then. We've pretty much covered everything there. So, let's play your newest single, "Fall Right in the Grave," and then we'll have a quick chat about that, and then we can wrap up
Cool.
for the evening. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me, guys. I do appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers,
Especially after a couple of gigs as well. I'd be in my bed watching Battlestar Galactica.
I'll soon be there.
Yeah. Right, let's get this one going. I love the video for this. It's I don't know. It's very like it was that JPEG with you like the war paint on that sort of grabbed my eye. I was like, "Fucking hey, what are these guys up to?" It's been a while, and then I clicked on it. I was like, "Yes." So anyway, that's my intro for the track. Let's bring it up here. How? Cool. Right, this is "Fall Right in the Grave" by Dubinski. We will be back in a second.
They speak of words of wisdom, strong enough to send the boat in a direction. See the stars, your future's written, given to you in the ritual union. This life too safe to question, but tell it to you the truth, but then forget to mention. Pulled apart by an old tradition, self-sabotage, new event horizon. The ground will open up a fall right in the grave. The ground will open up a fall right in the After days of thinking deep in trouble, the walls will cover up on earth by a sandstorm. And fit Water is the language of the people. The ground will open up before right in the grave. Like the leaves on the trees always seem to change. The leaves on the trees always seem to change. The ocean's playing on the salty harbor. The ocean's playing on the salty harbor. Project the sun in a way that could never be seen. The sun in a way that could never be seen. The ground will open up before the grave. The leaves on the trees always seem to change. The ocean's playing on the salty harbor. Project the sun in a way that could never be seen. The ground will open up before.
What if my celium dissolves your thoughts away? Spread spores beneath your skin, melt deep into your soul. The gates are open for those that wouldn't dare. The whole world's over and the curtain isn't red.
There we go. Awesome. It gets you in the feels right at the end as well. It just like total flips the coin, and you're like, oh, hold on a second. Like, I wasn't expecting that when I first listened. It caught me off guard. And even then, I was like, oh, it sends you away.
That was a lot of fun to film that video as well. Same director.
Mhm.
And it was class. We went in this forest and they had like a contraption they made for a smoke machine, basically like so the smoke would lie on the floor and catch in the trees and stuff. And
Awesome.
and it was good fun. And then we walked up to this clearing in the woods, and it was the original idea was that we were kind of going to dress down a bit and have loose kind of clothes on, and kind of put face paint on, these war paints on. And then Martin was like, "Why don't you just like take your tops off and cover yourselves in paint?" And I was like, "How do you feel about that?" I was like, "All right then." For the sake of creativity.
Anything about war paint always works. And like again, it's like having the colours and the chalk paint. What was it like with the wind? Because it actually looks fucking pretty powerful. It's like almost like you're jumped out of a plane or something. Like
That was pretty intense. They had like a
You-
leaf blower blowing right in your face with the
surely
with
there's
the
actual leaves actually will get blown in your face. You're like swallowing them as you're trying to sing. No.
it was like smoke machine and leaf blower blowing down your
You can't actually breathe
throat.
when it's happening, can you?
Nah.
The things musicians do just to get for a music video. Eh?
Exactly.
Yeah. That was
Are you
also
going to
a
do
lot.
some more videos for the rest of the album?
I'm not sure actually. We're gonna be there's a couple of videos. Gotta Get Out of This Place. We'll be pushing that again. It's a bit of a funny one where we kind of dress up in wigs and have a bit of a laugh.
Brilliant.
But will be doing more videos. I imagine with the same director as well, because we work well with him and he's a good guy.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun to record that song as well. We had
The production on it is really insane. Like the guitar sound on it.
it was done in the same room that Radiohead recorded the Bends in, and they had like
Yeah.
about 5 or 6 different amps all hooked up to each other, and it was like a wall of noise. It was really good.
And some of the
And we-
percussion we had in the stairwell, they had like room mics out in this staircase, and Oi was
Aye.
drumming on a radiator and stuff, so it gives that kind of big room sound.
I say because you do feel like that. Like it kind of goes from being like right here to going like boom, and you've got this big load, like almost like you're in a hall sort of area, and then it tightens right down with like the voice or the guitar, the lead guitar line specifically. I like that. So I used to play with mics like that and try and get things in the stairwell, but
Yeah,
like often it's not until you go to a studio like you guys have gone to where they've got the know-how where it's actually controlled, even though it's really fucking loud or you've got a lot of volume coming through, you're getting all the nice tone from it. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to record that one, and I had the vocal takes were really fun. Like that last chorus having to go up high, and I got really into it. A bit of a performance kind of vocal take. It was good fun.
Yeah. And you got the harmonies with the like call and response.
Yeah,
Is that all you guys, or did you do your own like harmonies?
yeah.
You-
So them lot record the backing vocals.
Cool.
Do the vocal takes for the backings, just to get a different texture of voice, rather than me being like, "I'll sing it all."
No, it sounds great. Honest, I know, but I'm bigging it up a lot, but
Cheers.
it's like I get a bit disillusioned with music sometimes. I don't know if you get this as musicians, and I kind of fall in and out of love with stuff, and then every now and again there's a track comes along and it just like gives me energy, and it so happens to be this one. So like, it's really cool to be able to talk to you like so close to the epicenter or whatever you want to call it, ground, your ground zero. When a track lands. So I really do. I wish you all the best success with the new album. If you're over in Europe, if you come to Germany, please let me know. Because I'm just in Holland, so it won't be too far, and I would make the trip. Take Vitske to see you.
Oh, sweet.
Will
We'll
do.
let you know, and we might be over in Netherlands. Like you never know. So
Yeah, well, I'm hopefully going to try and figure out some venues and things here, so maybe I can help hook you up with somewhere as well. So I'll keep in touch with you.
Nice.
nice.
Cheers.
Where about you based in Holland?
I'm in Zaandam, which is about it's like just west, like the west above Amsterdam Central.
Okay.
So about 15 minutes in the train from Amsterdam.
Oh,
A bit more
sound.
out the way. But it's a lovely place here. It's just a total change from Scotland, to
Yeah, I bet.
say the least. Right. But in a nice way. But yeah, if you're over here, absolutely hit me up. And if I've got a venue that'll have you, I'll get you booked here, and I'll just walk along the street. That'd be great.
Nice.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
good.
Where's the best place for folk to find your stuff? I've put your YouTube thing up here. Is there any other places they can find you?
Yeah, just all the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, and Apple Music, Deezer. All
Everywhere.
the socials. Aye.
Cool. Well, it's all on for anyone watching. I'll put the links in. They're in the comments there. Go grab them. And go subscribe to the YouTube. And if you're there, subscribe to my YouTube as well, because I'm trying my best to get folk over to YouTube. So please subscribe. Right, guys, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon, and peace and love.
Nice one.
Cheers, man.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Ciao, ciao. Cool. I'll keep you up to date. We'll have another one next weekend probably. I won't announce it yet until we've got it confirmed, but yeah, take it easy. Peace and love. Whistling in the dark.